Hi, I'm going to show you how to do the directed drawing of Pete the cat. So I have with me a piece of paper. If you want to do it with me, you'll need a piece of paper. If you don't want to do it, that's okay. You can just watch. And you'll also need something to write with. I have a black marker, but I think it would be best to use a pencil. So if you have a pencil, I would use a pencil if I were you. I'm using a black marker so that you can really see it. The black is really dark, and so it shows up nicely on the video, and I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. So I have my book with me that we just read, Pete the cat, so I could look at some of the shapes to see how to draw it. I'm gonna do it step by step, and you see I'm already seeing some shapes. I see some triangles here and like a football shape there, and that's gonna help me draw Pete the cat, okay? Now, you know, a lot of times when I do drawings, I like to leave room at the bottom for some writing. So I'm going to try and fit my Pete the cat in the top and leave room for some writing at the bottom, but you can draw it anywhere on the page that you'd like. I'd love for you to write with me, but it's up to you. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with the top of his head. And the top of his head looks like a stretched out rainbow. So I'm going to do it right at the top and stretch out the rainbow. Has a little bit of curve at the ends, but it's mostly stretched out. Next, I'm going to add his ears, and his ears are that upside down V, and his ears are pretty big, so I'm gonna make them reach all the way to the top of my paper. Now remember, I'm putting mine up high so I can leave room for writing, but you could put it anywhere you want. His ears look like some upside down V's, so I'm gonna make this look like a V. Ta-da! There's his ears. 2 upside down V's. Now, I have to connect his ears to his face. And so in order to do that, I'm going to start at the bottom of the ear and make a stretched out line. And it kind of curves down at the bottom. A big, long, stretched line that curves down at the bottom. Now, I'm doing my best to make this picture symmetrical. And symmetrical means when you cut it in half, it's the same on both sides. Now, I tried my best, but it's not perfectly symmetrical, and that's okay. So I'm going to try and even it out a little bit by making this line match the same spot as that. But I'm making sure to leave a space open. It's like a finger space for his neck. Now, Pete the cat has a small little neck, and it looks like just 2 straight lines down. 1, 2. 2 L's. Now, from his neck, I can add in his hands, his arms and hands. So for his arm, I'm going to do a straight line out, a horizontal line. That's the big, long kind. I start at the bottom of his neck and do a straight line. I'm going to do one on the other side to match. Remember, I'm trying to make it the same. I'm trying to make it symmetrical. Then we have to do his paws. And Pete the cat has little circles for hands. They're more like ovals because they're a little bit stretched out. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to do my oval, but I'm going to stop. I'm not gonna let it close because that's where his hand goes. Then I'll start the other side, an oval and stop, so it doesn't close. Then from the bottom, I'm gonna make a parallel line. That's a big fancy math word. And the parallel line means the 2 lines will both run straight and they're not going to touch. We'll start at the bottom and make it match the top. Now from here, I'm just going to do a little bit of his body, like his upper body, his chest, so that I have the room for writing. So I'll start at the bottom of his arm and I'll just make a line down for his body. But I'm going to stop there because I want this room at the bottom. 2 curved lines down. Now we have to work on his face. And Pete the cat has really big eyes. So his eyes take up almost his whole face. His eyes are the shape of footballs. Do you see that? Or like lemons, they're big stretched out with a curve at the top. So I'll start in the middle and make a stretched out rainbow and start on the other side and make another stretched out rainbow. Then we'll start on the side and connect it. We'll do the same thing on the bottom for his big stretched out eyes. Now inside his eyes, Pete the cat has 2 more circles. So make sure when you draw this first circle, you leave room for the other one. Now this is going to be like a big letter U. A U in both sides. Now there's a baby U right inside. There's Pete the cat's eyes. He also has a nose, and his nose looks like an upside down triangle. So we'll start in the middle. It's kind of curved, and it has 2 lines that meet to make the triangle. Now, Pete needs some more details to make him look more like a cat, and cats have whiskers. Pete has lots of whiskers that come out of his cheeks. And to make a whisker, you start in his cheek and you do a flick line out. Now I'm going to put about 5 whiskers, but you may choose as many as you'd like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll do 5 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last thing he needs is the details in his hands. This makes his hands look a little bit more realistic. So we're going to draw 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, and they don't have to be the same, to make his hands more realistic. And our drawing part of Pete the cat is done. We have the whole outline. Now I'm going to color Pete the cat in. You can use anything you want to color him in, or any colors you have. I did not bring crayons to my house, so I don't have any crayons, but I do have these markers. So I'm gonna use the markers to color in my Pete the cat, and I'm gonna use my best 3-star coloring. I'm going to try and stay in the lines and be extra neat. So I'm using this yellow for his eyes. His eyes are kind of a golden color, but I don't have gold, and I think yellow or orange is pretty close. Trying my best to stay in the lines. Be nice and careful. The next part of his eye is black. So I'll get my black back out and color him in black. Now the top stays white and the rest of Pete the cat is blue. But before I color him blue, I want to start my writing. So I thought in this book, Pete did a really good job of persevering. And because he persevered, Pete learned that he can do something. What is it that Pete can do? What could he do? Let's flip to the end. He can dance. So I'm going to write that Pete the cat can dance. Now, Pete is his name, and it's the first letter in my sentence, so I know it needs a capital P. And if you have a hard time spelling Pete, we could look right at the title of the book to help us spell it. I'm going to do a big capital P, Pete. Now, I know how to spell the all by myself. T-H-E, the. And even though I don't have lines on this paper like I do at school, I know that H is a bird watcher and it is nice and tall. Pete the cat. Cat. Ooh, I hear a C. At. Cat. Pete the cat can. Ooh, that's a sight word too. C-A-N spells can. Pete the cat, oh, can't forget my finger space, can. C-A-N spells can. Pete the cat can dance. We said he can dance, and I ran out of room on this line, but that's okay. I'll just go to the next. Let's try and spell dance. Dance is a tricky word, but I know we can do it together. Here we go. Dance starts with a D sound. What letter makes the D sound? D. D. Oh, like dolphin. Dance. Pete can D. Da. Oh, I hear an A. Dan. An N. Dance. Oh, you guys, there is a tricky letter in this word. It's a serial C. Do you remember that tricky serial C I taught you about? The C sometimes makes the S sound like the S. Dance. Dance. Pete the cat can dance. Okay. What goes at the end of every sentence so we know to stop? A period. It's that dot that look, and it's called a period. Pete the cat can dance. Ooh, now let's write something that I can do or you can do. I. Ooh, we need a capital letter because it's the first word of our sentence. I, capital I, with a hat and shoes. I can. C-A-N spells can. And I know how to spell it because I know the song and it's already on my page. I can. Okay, I'm gonna leave this line blank, and you know what that means? I want you to write something that you can do. I want to hear about something you can do. Maybe you can dance like Pete can. Maybe you know how to play a sport like soccer or football or basketball. Maybe you can read. Hey, I know you can read. I want you to tell me about something that you can do. And if you'd like, you can send me a picture of your Pete the Cat on Class Dojo. But you don't have to. It's all up to you, okay? You have the choice. Now, I'm just gonna color in my Pete the Cat with the blue. So that you can see what he looks like when he's all finished. Trying my best to stay in the lines. And the good thing is that even if I color it blue, you can still see the black underneath his whiskers. Now his nose is white, so I'll leave that white. And the top. And the last thing I have to color is his hands. Ta-da! I'm all finished. I would love to see what your Pete the Cat looks like.